Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever it is you are. Welcome to Maidencast number 41. This is my second attempt because I bungled up the pronunciation a minute ago.
Professional to the end.
Yes, of course. The last week we did the Book of Souls.
Went from the sublime.
We are now up to date when it comes to Maiden albums, and until this new album comes out, we're just going through the planned schedule, really.
Yeah.
But yes, as always, if you are new to the show, this is the show where we are going through Iron Maiden's entire back catalogue in order of release. I know that's obvious because it's Iron Maiden, but along the way, we are doing every side project and solo album, and that's in the order of release. So next up is Mr. Paul Di'Anno.
To the potentially ridiculous, because as we know, Paul has a history of going from...
I thought that was the album title then. I was going to say,
yeah.
Oh, he was on it, yeah. Anyway, carry on, sorry.
It's, no, I mean, we've gone from the sublime in the Book of Souls, which we sort of rated as one of Maiden's very best, to a Paul Di'Anno album, which it's never plain sailing with Paul. He either fucking knocks it out of the park or he just slips over it at the first hurdle. So you never know what you're going to get, and it's that time. Let's go.
It's like a Paul Di'Anno album.
That's it. Yeah, you never know. And when your band name is spelling chaos with a Z, it makes you think, without even listening to it.
Or he could have spelled it with a K.
Yeah, which
Carcass
without
with
even
a K.
listening to it is unfair. You should never judge a book by its cover.
Yep, serves you right. It is a shame, actually, that this album's got quite generic artwork, because I reckon with a decent album cover, this could have been a bit easier to...
Yeah, because let's not fuck about. It's not any spoiler to say that this is Paul's best album for 23 years, since Murder One.
Yes. I think it's his best one since Di'Anno. But
you fucking hell, right? Okay,
I think
that is.
I think that is an underrated classic, and I think he should have stuck with that band.
Fucking hell, yeah. Doing Miami Vice sound.
He would be like on tour now with like Dare and Asia or something like that. The AOR scene is up and running. TMZ, I think, is that TMZ is a news channel, isn't it?
In America, yeah.
There's a band like that. Is it FMZ? FN?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember, but there is an AOR band that with 3 letters like that, and I'm sure it ends in Z. He would have been with them,
or Z, as we say in England.
Z, yeah. But yes, this is if you watched interviews with Paul, he would always be, he'd go, "Oh, I'm so busy at the moment. I'm recording 3 albums," and he says because and a lot of people are doing. Devin Townsend's done this currently. Actually, Devin Townsend's headlining the Bloodstock Festival.
Yeah.
And with everything that's going on at the moment, he's gone, "I'm not coming with a band."
He's hired a completely English.
I've hired British musicians.
British and English crew,
so
yeah.
It uncomplicates things. And Bloodstock put a thing up where they've gone to pick him up from the airport. But yeah, Paul Di'Anno's been doing that the whole time. So when he goes on tour, it's only him that actually travels. So every country he has a band waiting for him. So Nomad was the Brazilian band he had at the time. Apparently was going to do another one Brazilian band. And this is what he recorded with his German band. And basically, he was just fed up with playing Maiden songs by the sounds of it as much as his audience were. I think his audience are people that want to see him once so they can tick a box. And then the actual fans who want to hear new stuff and all the rest of it. And he realised the only way he's going to finally completely dislodge himself from that is to do it under a band. So this wasn't a Paul Di'Anno solo album. It was a new band under his own name. And then he could start playing new material again. He did do quite a bit of touring off this album. He even played Wacken. Did quite a few high-profile festivals. Yeah, it's again, if you go down old Ubi Tubi's rabbit hole, there's quite a lot of live footage of him. Unfortunately, it's normally from a chair or from a wheelchair because his knee was really starting to
jacked up. I mean, he's doing a fucking crowdfunding thing now, isn't he?
Well, that's been done for him. Apparently, he weren't really happy with that. But
fair play to him.
But he was told, "Fucking, let's put it this way: what choice you got?" Because
that's one of the perils of taking a buyout from Rod instead of saying no. I just want the royalties.
Yeah.
Because he could have had a steady stream of income coming in, couldn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. But,
he is a cautionary tale, isn't he, Diano, about how not to do the music business. All the talent in the world, great vocalist and just no business acumen whatsoever.
Yeah.
Constantly making the wrong decision and all that, and it's sad, really.
Yeah. Although I was once named by my dad, actually, as the world's most unsuccessful rock star. So at least he ain't me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he did as well. He finally sort of did what Blaze did. Everything I did watch, the majority of this album is played. It's generally 40 minutes. It's like he's on the main stage, but he's one of the first bands on, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So there is a couple of Maiden songs at the end, rather than every other song.
I mean, to be doing it, you have to do them at the end, because by that time people are going to be hopefully into the crowd. And what's better way to fucking thing me up if you start playing Rothschild or whatever, or Running Free? It's going to be
this is a band by the Spice Girls, and then it'd be Prowler and stuff like that, which I thought was quite funny. Ishan from Emperor did that once as well. For a few years, he didn't play any Emperor record, like any Emperor songs live. He stuck to his solo stuff. And then once he had about 4 or 5 albums under his belt, he did the Camden Electric Ballroom, did his whole set. And then at the encore came back, he went, for those of you that have been with me for a long time, you'll remember I used to be in a boy band. And then just broke into a load of Emperor stuff. It was well good. I used to be in a boy band. Great. I think this is a real solid album, though. I think, this is the type of album where I feel vindicated for being a Paul Di'Anno fan. It's like I'm always, and that's what made those harsh reviews we did. It was like, well, we're not enjoying this, but one has to be honest. And to be honest, it's not that you've. The annoying thing about this is we know you can do better. We know there's a great album in you because you've done it before. The first two, mate. When it came to the first Murder One album, it was like, see,
first Killers album, that's it. Yeah, Murder One. It was.
I mean, it's and even the albums that aren't very good, there'll be a song where it's just like he did it. Look,
there's glimpses, isn't there? Yeah, of just what he could do,
and he was limited by a budget. Sometimes, the albums might be good, but not so well produced. He's just never found. Or if he doesn't last very long. It's always the band behind him that he's just not got it. But he's finally done it on this. I think this is a fantastic album. It's everything you need as well. It's a classic heavy metal album with a modern kick up the arse without trying to be too contemporary, and he's not following any trends. It's just a good classic recipe with a modern.
Yeah, there's mixtures. Tell they're obviously German because there's mixtures of Primal Fear and
it feels very European as well. Yeah, but there's nothing worse than when someone British tries to be American. It's so with a European, but we've still got that close knit edge to it. But again, and not only that, I think with the right. I think this really was. It's just a shame of his health, because I think this could have kick-started his career again. They, with the right manager, I would have gone, right, you're going on tour with Doro, you're going on tour with Accept, with Primal Fear.
Yeah.
And fuck it, if we're really lucky, we may even get, in the UK, we could go on tour with Priest. Or
big time,
how good would it have been with that Halloween tour where they're doing, they've got all 3 singers in there and all.
No, that'd have been quality, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and Paul Di'Anno on the bill as well. Audiences would have bet that right up, wouldn't they?
Of course you would, yeah.
And especially Doro, she does like 3-hour marathon sets. She could have got him on at the she could have got him on stage and done like a duet, like do like Remember Tomorrow and things like that. She did that with Blaze as
well.
Yeah,
possibilities were endless, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Especially where he'd got that Wacken bill under his belt. That would have, you know. But there's heavy songs. There's like slower, more mellow songs. There's even like there's catchy songs. That's the best way to put it. Yeah. All the songs on these are memorable. There are songs on here that I could have easily have envisioned being played on Planet Rock, again with the right promotion. And it's like finally we made it. And it's not a work of genius, don't get me wrong.
No,
it's
so I'm
very
not
solid. It's a very solid right. We can establish something with this, and the potential is there. It's a good debut album.
Yeah, I'm not as enamoured with it as you obviously are. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is, like I said, I started out by saying it's his best album for 23 years, but there are some things there that he insists on doing, which wind me the fuck up. But
I don't want to do like a Metallica fans were with Death Magnetic, where it was like, this is the best album since Master of Puppets. It's absolutely fucking brilliant, and it was just like, calm down.
Yeah, it's not. It's
it's
if you listen to it, like
you're just glad.
Again,
I know you're really happy that it's not St. Anger, but calm down. Half over time, it was like, there's about 4 good songs on this.
Yeah, half of Death Magnetic was overblown and all that, and 9-minute songs every other.
I might have had the Eddie Murphy thing where
it's the best crack you've ever tasted.
Yeah, it's the most delicious crack I've ever had. Oh, it's delicious. Is that Ritz?
Yeah, no, that's it.
And then after a year, so hey, that's some regular old crackers.
Regular crackers, yeah. And Death Magnetic was just some regular crackers.
That was the Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
That got 5 out of 5 in Kerrang and everything.
Yeah, but everyone got caught up in it, didn't they? Because the drums sounded decent and all the rest of it. Because I'm fucking about. If you re-record Death Magnetic with decent drums, if you did St. Anger with Death Magnetic's drum sound, that album is fucking great. There's some amazing songs on that album.
It needs just tidying up though. Like, that album was an hour and that filled the CD, wasn't it?
But it's latter day Metallica, isn't it? You know, they don't self-edit at all. They started to do it on Hardwired. There's things on there that were like you got the first 3-minute song for fucking since Kill 'Em All. You know? Yeah. They've started to realise, but you know, St. Anger and Death Magnetic, if they're self-edited and produced properly, that's some great shit.
I just wish they'd hire a metal. You know, they went for a phase in the 90s where they went, we're not metal anymore. We're far too sophisticated for that. I go to art galleries and hang around with Nick Cave now.
Well, I don't think that was ever James. That was just James.
It was Lars.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, it was definitely Lars. Yeah,
the MTV Awards, it's on film.
No, it was definitely Lars.
Lars and Kirk saying we're embarrassed to even be associated with metal. Metal's dead. All that.
I think James was just going along with it for the fucking And
then they went, right, we're going to be metal again. And even the people that defend their newest albums, it's like, look, 90% of their set is still the first albums. So, and so it's like, right, if you are back to doing metal, hire a metal producer for fuck's sake. And Andy Sneap is the man. I can't think of anyone more better qualified. When you got Priest, Testament, Megadeth, Accept, all under your belt, that's what you need. But you need someone as well there to go, right, cut that off, trim that down. There you go.
I think to be fair to him, Hardwired, they were moving towards that because that's a good sounding album.
That didn't need to be 2 discs though.
No, it didn't. But the songs themselves are shorter. They just wrote too many.
Yeah. Yeah, well there you go.
But then at the end of the thing, they end disc 2 with Spit Out the Bone, which is one of the fucking best songs they've written for 35 years.
Yeah, but even Definite Magnetic had some of the like great songs on it. That was the thing. That's what you have with Metallica all the time. There's always glimpses of hope. And you go, look, they did it there. That's why you stick with them. Plus, they're still one of the best live bands ever. Yeah. But yeah, this is an Iron Maiden podcast, by the way.
Yeah. As we have been known to do.
And we do like to go off on tangents.
Over there or up there.
Hello to Colonel Billington, by the way.
Takes us.
He's left us a few more comments on the last video. So, Colonel Billington.
Oh, right, cool.
The Colonel. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting a bit of a community going here, actually. It's quite nice. We're getting regular viewers.
You'd have to message me when you get comments, because obviously I don't know they're there unless I happen just to trawl back and.
Yeah, it was pretty much really enjoyed this. Looking forward to the next one. Was the thing, and he said about how he saw the band live recently. Well, he didn't see him recently. He jumped on board with Brave New World and actually didn't get to see him until the Book of Souls tour, but well worth the wait because they played Wasted Years.
Yeah.
But he's commenting pretty regularly, and he's always got stuff to say as well as Kevin and the one where it's all just numbers.
All numbers, yeah. Sorry, guys, but
hello everyone.
It's like trying to remember your bank account number, your sort code, and your PIN code all mixed up. So
what is it again? Yeah. What is it? You can take what you like anyway. You can't get feathers off a frog.
Yeah.
So,
but no, right. we appreciate the words. So.
Right. So, shall we get into it?
Yes. Rejected. Starts out metal as fuck, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Like we are metal. We're not anything else. Tells you what you need to know straight away. There's still a few. Production's good. Nice and clear and everything. The drums might be a bit too over triggered, but that's just the drummer complaint.
I wonder who produced this album. Keep talking while I look.
I don't know, because the information on it is non-existent. You look like Wikipedia, it ain't even got a page. It's just a mention, and on Metal Archives, it's one review via private individual. So I don't.
Martin Butchwalter is he's mixed it and recorded it and all the rest of it, but he's not got. Nothing really stands out, to be honest.
No, that's what I mean. So, but fair play to him. He's given a nice, clear sound. Like I say, drums are a bit over.
It feels very modern. Oh, he's done a couple of Destruction albums.
Yeah.
Oh, he's recorded the drums on a couple of Destruction albums, but
yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I say, starts out well, but Di'Anno, it's high-pitched stuff straight away. It's like, I'll stop it. That's been a bugbear of mine. If you go back through the series when we've done Di'Anno albums, Di'Anno is very much like Blaze. When he's in his comfort zone, there aren't many better. But when he tries to push himself either way, the results can be disastrous.
Yeah.
As I've said when Blaze did King of Metal, that was hideous. Like what he was doing with his vocals. I appreciate he's trying to push himself. Don't get me wrong, I'm not one of them. But know your limits. You're not Bruce. And no matter what they do, Bruce's shadow will always be cast over both of these guys. Because he is that much better of a vocalist. He's got a range that goes all over. So whatever they try and do is always going to be unfairly filmed. But he can go high at a certain point, but when he tries to do the Halford stuff, no. And he tries to do it on this. It's that the first time you hear him, he's doing a Halford-esque scream, and it doesn't work.
Well, when that kicks in as well, yeah, but with so if you took the opening track to Angel of Retribution. So what was that song? Oh, it's stuck in my tongue.
I know. I didn't like that album whatsoever.
Judas Rising. That opens with but it just kicks in with and then it's just like it sort of starts from the background and then comes.
Yeah, it comes in, yeah.
While this one, Paul goes, oh, like, well, that's what he does on Rothschild. I thought that was the producer might have got him. Hold on a minute, do that because
yeah,
that's a bit of a hold back to the old days. But
Rothschild was fucking 35 years before.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, I'm just reasoning why.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see the reason behind it. But even then, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I thought they wrote that with Bruce in mind. Steve had heard Samson and thought, you know what, he's going to be in the band soon. Let's just write this for him.
It does make you wonder, doesn't it? When did that actually start? I did read a book, which was just on the Di'Anno years.
Because
they went like,
he's never been settled, has he? In Maiden, there was always fucking instances where Steve must have been thinking, "Oh, for fuck's sake."
Well, there's a chapter of what would have happened had he stayed or something like that. And they sort of said, look, Maiden were going to get big regardless. At that point, the foundation was laid. So that there would have been a buzz around that third album, and that sun's coming straight in. And so what was going to happen was always going to happen, but they just said it was always inevitable. He went, especially when you saw Samson and Maiden together.
Yeah.
He went, everyone in the audience always used to go. It was, It went because Bruce was too good for that band.
Yeah.
Or he was outrunning the band.
Yeah. And Paul wasn't good enough for Maiden.
And the band was outrunning the singer. It was like these two don't match. It's like, why don't they just get him in them? And it was always obvious that was going to happen. Or the audience sort of willed it into, and you think, well, I've never heard it like that before though. Like, I can't remember who said it, because it's, like those books where everyone puts their own little sort of testament in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like reading a documentary. Scott Ian's on it. Well, I've not read a metal book about fucking Scott Ian chipping in. Who else? Can't remember now, but I'll have to dig it out one day. But it's Maiden the Diano years, and I thought that was a good little observation that I'd never heard before. Where even the audiences were sort of saying, that this needs to swap. Yeah. So I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry.
No, we were just saying, like, because I started it, because when you said about he did the Scream on Rothschild, and I was like, perhaps it was written for Bruce, an early precursor, but it is what it is. But like I say, it still doesn't alter the fact that in 2015 Paul shouldn't be doing it. He couldn't do it 20 years before, and he certainly can't do it now after he's wrecked his voice. Like, wrecked any possibility of his voice moving up.
Yeah, I don't know. He might. It's one of those as well. You might get away with it in the studio, but live, it won't happen.
Because live in the wrong environment, it can be crap. Yeah. If you had a smoky room, crap. But and he does that stupid pseudo death growl at the end of the first verse as well. It's like, really. But other than that, this is a tidy song. Paul's in his zone for most of it, and when Paul's in his zone, he's a great singer, and he's got, obviously, this band know what they're fucking doing as well, because they can all play. This ain't like the Diano album where he's gone into a pub and gone, "Can you play bass?" Yeah, you'll do. This band are obviously knowing what they're doing. They're all fucking on it. They're all fucking, the lead guitarists are smashing out the park, the drummers on it. The bass player is, doing what all the best bass players do, keeping that fucking real rhythm underneath.
I think this is a good little opening track as well, though, isn't it? It jumps straight out the gate.
Yeah.
We're straight on the rubbers hitting the road. It's nice, good, freshy riffs. It's got a good little chorus, good little backing vocals. It sets the tone. Yeah. And it lets you know what you're in for.
Where was this band when Killers split? Because this is what he needed.
Yes, exactly. This is exactly
what he needed. This style of music, and because it's not too modern, that it wasn't about in the 90s.
Yeah.
But instead of fucking doing the Pantera thing, he should have stuck with it.
Well, I think he should. I've said, before, I think he should have jumped on the thrash train. I think if he formed a thrash band, because at the end of Around Number of the Beast, that would have been around Metallica's first album, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Killer a year later. So
so if he'd have been bumming about for a little bit, maybe put out a solo album, but when thrash started getting bona fide, if he'd have just jumped on that, if he'd have formed the band then, that would have, I think he would have
Diano come out in 84, and
there was quite a big gap, weren't there?
Yeah, it was 3 years between releases, and he come out in 84, and it was like, why the fuck are you doing Miami Vice soundtrack songs? What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's completely wrong. And he never recovered from that. No. He was always playing catch up. If he'd come out with a fucking killer album, he would have been like, right, boom, off we go. But he just had his legs cut out.
When anyone splits from a band, you wait for the band to carry on and then go, well, what they're doing now, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to go, they've gone more melodic now. I'm doing it heavy again. Like, it's, what is it? They say like the greatest Van Halen album that never released was David Lee Roth's first album, because Van Halen, the seeds were already sown with Jump, but they went more keyboard orientated and more. Obviously, Sammy Hagar could play guitar, so he added in another musical layer as well. Whilst the first Lee Roth solo album, it was like party, like it was.
Yeah, that's it.
It was like, no, I'm going to give the audience what they want. And even prime example, fucking hell, didn't want to say this first, Megadeth.
Yeah.
He went, nah, fuck what they're doing. He went, I'm going to do what they should be doing. You know, you should do it like that.
I'm going to play it faster.
Yeah, and I think if you just went, right, thrash metal's a thing, why don't I do like the first two albums where it's heavy and all the rest of it, but with the first two albums with a thrashier, heavier edge. He could have come out then, and I think he would have been with the right people.
He come out 84. You'd already had Number of the Beast out. Peace of Mind, Power Slave. You know, don't get me wrong. I've got my issues with Peace of Mind and Power Slave, but they were fucking.
But even with those two albums, just taking into context what was going on with metal.
Yeah,
because a lot of other great albums
comes out with something totally different, and it's like,
well,
you know, it wasn't even good. It wasn't even good.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If it had been a good album. You know, a good cop.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. End conversation.
I like that album.
Yeah. If it had been a good cock rock album, you know, all saying it had been
Heartbreaker.
Yeah.
A barracuda. She'll use you up, throw your love away. Fantastic.
It was a pile of shit. And let's not make out anything different.
That song reminds me of my fifth wife. She was a barracuda.
Yeah. Anyway, track 2.
Yeah.
Because we've gone right off on one.
It's still the morning, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it, yeah. Joe's been up about half hour.
Yeah. So we have a nice fast shredder to begin with. Now we got sort of like a mid-paced.
Yeah, nice mid-paced cruncher, isn't it?
Got a nice Judas Priest feel to this track. Bit of Accept in there as well. I always liked Accept. They're not a band I listen to. They're not that prominent in my collection or anything like that.
No. If they come on the shuffle,
if you go like, I just fancy a bit of metal that I can drive to, and Accept are the perfect
metal AC/DC.
Yeah, they are Priests and AC/DC intertwined perfectly, and and there's no frills or anything like that. They just do what they're good at.
Yeah.
And in that sort of 80s era of Priest, they had that, you know, motorbikes, leather jackets, running down the highway. All the songs were like that. And this song reminds me. It just captures that perfectly.
Yeah, obviously. Tell where their influences were.
This is Harley Davidson metal. This track.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the chorus. It's is there some big choruses on this album?
Oh, there are. Yeah, they don't always hit the mark, but they always go.
Yeah. For it. They always at least have a try, don't they?
Yeah.
And I'll say it now so I don't repeat myself, but you can pretty much, you know, even if a song's not quite got it, the solo will always kind of bring it up.
And we've said that a couple of times with Paul, haven't we?
The lead section, the both guitarists on this,
they're savages. Yeah, you know, they know what they're doing, and they do often save a song that isn't quite up to standard. But I don't like Paul's vocal choice on this. The snarling, it don't like I say he's got an area where he should stay, in my opinion.
I think the snarl suits this song. I will say that. I mean, if he did it on all the album, he'd be like, right, we're in trouble now. But he does kind of just. I think it suits the chorus on this, on what he's doing. Yeah.
All right, I'll let you have that. But there's a nice just before the solo, you've got a nice modern style sort of breakdown, haven't you? Where it lets you know that you're not in 1988. You're bang up to date 2015 with metalcore and all the rest of it. And you've got that breakdown there that comes in before the solo.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. But this is a nice juxtapose to the first one. First one was like, you know, fast paced, all the rest of it. This comes in mid pace, fucking banger. Let's just, you know, if it was live, you'd be giving it all that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, again, these songs, I think all of them would probably have worked live.
Yeah.
And obviously with a Maiden track chucked in here and there, didn't hurt
Yeah, it would
anyone
have been
either.
a pretty good set, wouldn't it? You know,
Yeah.
throw in the best of Killers and you're away.
Again, I think this would have been a great support band. I think this would have been, again, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
7 or 8 songs off this album. Chuck in Prowler or Wrathchild at the end.
I'd say a couple of Killers tracks and you're booming because...
Even throwing a few Killers songs, or
especially off Murder One, Killers, they wrote some bangers when they were...
if they did like a headline set, I'd have gone, right, chuck some Murder One songs in there. Even maybe you'll even get away with a Battle Zone song.
Yeah.
And yeah, a few Maidens peppered in. Wouldn't have done anyone in the arm. But yeah, a good 45-minute set. A couple of Maiden songs at the end. That would have, everyone would have bought a T-shirt, I would have thought. And they'd be like, oh, he's back, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, a metal album. You can't have a metal album without at least one song about the Horsemen. 4
Horsemen, yeah.
So,
and this one, they don't try and fuck about. They don't disguise it. This is called Horsemen.
Yeah. But again, I think this is...
goes back to fast paced, doesn't it? It's they've taken you on all the avenues, sort of thing.
Well, you've got a pretty standard
kit,
drum pattern, that nice riff, that dan 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 dan, you know, and again, it tugs along quite nicely.
This is where Di'Anno's voice should be for me in this track. It's his Paul Di'Anno. If you looked up, you said, right, what Paul Di'Anno, what's he sound like? Put this track on, be like, that's him. That's classic Di'Anno, and where he's comfortable, where he's great, where no one else sounds like Paul Di'Anno.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a unique voice when he puts his mind to it, and it's why we love him, because he's got a great voice at the end of the day.
Yeah. It comes together quite well at the end as well. It all sort of tightens up and and then comes to a sudden break. That's nice.
Yeah. There's another good chorus here.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, no, say the great chorus riff. I can't actually remember it because I've only. Whereas as with the Blaze stuff, you've got a head start on me because you've heard these when I'm coming into these.
I wasn't quite familiar with this. Actually.
I'm coming into these blind.
I listened to it enough to get an idea when it came out, and then it sort of sat on the shelf. This is the first time I've actually properly sort of listened to it whilst analysing it, sort of thing.
Yeah, so like I came in completely blind to it, but no, I mean, like I say, the chorus riff, I can't remember it, but it stuck in my head. It made me want to write a note about it. And another great solo, as we've mentioned already. But he still comes in with sort of tries to ruin it with some more high pitched vocals at the end.
Right. So next up, we've got, again, it's not a Paul Di'Anno album without a slower song.
About a power ballad.
And
I think this is the first one that his voice doesn't shine.
Yeah.
Is it age catching up with him finally?
It's the verses, isn't it? It's like, it kind of, once the chorus kicks in, I think once it gets going, it's all right. But the verses tend to drag on this.
Yeah. And I think this is fucking what? This is almost 7 minutes, isn't it? I think, or it is 7 minutes, and it don't need to be. But if you've watched the previous shows, we know whenever we do a Di'Anno album, there's always that song on an album where it's a power ballad, and it normally the best song on the album, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it normally smashes everything else out of the park, sort of thing. And this is the first time where it's like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's the verses are the Achilles heel on this track, because once it gets to the chorus and it kicks in a bit, and again, there's some great little leads. There's the sort of finer details, and even when it goes from like one section to the other, you got that do 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 little interlude, and but it's the vocals on the verse are a bit flat, aren't they?
They are big time.
And it kind of, it feels like he wants to speed up, but has to stay in time with the song, and
something not quite right.
Something's not come out quite, which is a shame because I think it's the ingredients are there.
Yeah, you know? it's not baked long enough.
Yeah,
but there's a fucking great 3 minutes when the old chugging riff comes in when it goes heavy. Yeah, and it goes in, and then that leads into the faster paced solo section. I fucking love that. That's a standout section of the song. That sort of minute or so there, really good.
Yeah,
and you got the mellower bits either side that don't quite reach the level. But you know, you can't win them all.
No,
it's the first track on the album where you're like,
no, it's a shame because it's one of them. It's not this. It's not complete crap or anything like that.
no,
It's just
and it's
it hasn't
perfect
quite worked.
and it's perfectly placed in terms of it being a mellow one after 3 heavy crunchers, fast-paced ones. You needed that.
Exactly. It's
that
the
palate
album's
cleanser, but it just
set out.
doesn't quite
The
work.
setup's perfect. Yeah, the way all the tracks line up. Anyway, there's not too much damage done.
No. It's like you say, it's not shit. It's just not the level we'd expect from Paul Di'Anno, which, you know, and like we say with Power Ballads, the bar has been set pretty high. So he's a victim of his own success.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Next up is no, it's not Switched Off. That's Switched Off. Someone just did. What's Erase the World. Yeah.
Like
now this is the track that they have opened with on a live show.
Oh, right. Well, it's a good one. You've got the drum and guitar. Yes. You can have the old lights flashing in sync with the drums, and I like these sort of intros because they make you they're like, oh, you sit up and take notice straight away.
Yeah.
And it's got it's the heaviest chorus on the album. It's quite meaty. In fact, it's a fucking heavy song all through, really. With Paul going down just low enough that he's not hitting the notes, if you know what I mean. It's a heavier vocal, and it's about as low as he should be going, and it works. But to be fair to him, he does end the song on an impressive high note. It's not often I say that, because normally when he tries to do it, I'm like, oh, fucking mirrors are cracking and all that shit. But this note, he just hits the right. In fact, this is the song. He's hit the right notes. He's just gone the right level up and down with his range.
Yeah.
He hasn't tried to stretch himself, and it's carried, and it works. So this is quite a heavy banger, and I like this one.
Yeah, this is, like you said, it's a heavy banger. It's got great catchy riffs as well. You know, they've got a little bit of a Maiden flavour to those riffs as well, but not complete rip-offs.
Yes,
but because it's in a more of a heavier frame, it's got just enough Maiden to be familiar, but it's heavy enough to
it's the old friend with a new twist in it. You know,
it's the like I say, it's got a modern kick up the arse. I like the chorus as well. Erase that world.
Yeah.
Well, you know, so you've got the backing vocals on there. You could obviously do that with a crowd as well. Mic out to the audience. Lights go up. Well, you know.
Yeah, good. Like you say, good opener to get people into the show as well. You've got the fucking, you know, that shit, and then like you say, you get the interaction with the chorus, and it would work.
And it's a nice, short, sharp song as well. It gets straight to the point. It's memorable, and then I think it's a perfect way to open up a live show. Definitely.
Yeah, none of these songs really outstay their welcome, do they? I mean, I know we had a bit of a downer on the last one being 7 minutes, but that's the only one. All the rest of them, they're none of the. You don't get none of the veering into 6 minute territory. If they don't need it, they're all right. This is how long it's got to be.
Yeah,
bosh, and they tell the story within the.
This starts off a little winning streak in the album as well. It's like we've warmed up now, and going forward, this is the sort of this in the next couple of songs. I think is how the band should have moved forward. You got a nice little Pantera section as well in Erase the World. And then that lead over the top.
Very, very modern.
Which, but it's a nice mid-paced. It's got kind of brings to mind like Domination or something like that. You know, but then that leads into a nice little solo section as well, which is tight as fuck as well. Like I say, great songs. Could possibly have even opened the album. I don't know why. There's album openers and there's live openers. I know.
Yeah, I mean, it
could have got away with both.
jump out the speakers at you.
Yeah. Right, then it leads into
Dead Eyes,
which I think is an album
we've chatted about over Facebook Messenger, haven't we? Like, it's what a chorus, or what an opening riff that then turns into the chorus is fucking such an earworm. Yeah.
And
with great sort of gang vocals on it as well. It's
I think any bands, a big band that's on Nuclear Blast or something, whoever's doing the festival circuits, they're hitting the main stages of your downloads and your Bloodstocks. This single, as a single, with the right budget, with a decent film video, any band could have done well with songs. You know, it's not reinventing the wheel. It's well structured. It's structured like a pop song.
Yeah.
First chorus. Again, you've got the main riff, it's catchy as hell. That and when that comes, and then during the verse, just a nice chunky dun 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 dun. You know, Paul's keeping everything going with the vocal melodies.
Yeah,
he's keeping it catchy, keeping it interesting, and then straight in without fucking about, we go straight back into the chorus with that main riff again.
Yeah, that is a brilliant melody, and it's fucking hell. It's
and he's got that perfect little bit in the middle where he's shouting but still singing.
Yeah,
and yeah, it just fits together perfectly. Just completely interlocks, like switching gear in a car. It just lovely.
Yeah,
just
smooth transition, and yeah,
his vocals sound brilliant on it as well.
Yeah,
it's a perfect mix where he's just in the middle. He's hitting his stride.
Yeah,
he's got he's kind of kits that melodic scream together, plus the backing vocals with Dead Eyes, and
it works.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic. Yeah, and it's just like, yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Made it. We've done it.
Obviously, you get
got a nice little mid section as well.
I was just going to go to the breakdown after the second chorus, and then it goes into a proper air guitar solo. You're like, fucking yes.
Yeah.
You know, then it goes into a proper solo after that, and it's just a great song, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. They should have released this as a single. It should have, even if they did a few gigs and just cut and pasted together like some live footage.
Yes.
With the lyrics going over the screen, and you know, they do those.
Do lyric videos, it would have been awesome, and like you say, it might set them off.
Again, I could picture this being played on Planet Rock, and people going, "Who the fuck is this?" You know, again, this is the original singer of my main. He's back.
Yeah,
you know, like just recently with Dee Snider's couple of solo albums. Like, he's got himself a great little team.
Yeah,
he's like Jamie Jastard from Hatebreed behind it. He's like,
oh yeah, he loves him, doesn't he? He promotes the shit out of him.
You're going to make a modern metal album, and
yeah,
it was even Dee Snider didn't even think he was like, no, look, no one wants to hear anything from me. That guy, you know, he's like, no, they do, and it was him that put together that team. But he put together a great album, and it was just in the middle. It was just classic metal enough, but it just has that modern sheen, you know. Yeah. And I think that could have happened with this. It's a shame the band split as quick as it did.
Yeah, but they did a second album, didn't they? Obviously with another vocalist. I mean, the one bit of information I could find on it was that he left on bad terms, but obviously I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, what happened was they put out a statement basically saying, with Paul's health, like where he was forever waiting for an operation.
Right.
He was, you know, he did the tour with them, but he's sitting there in a wheelchair with his mic, can't do anything, can't interact with the crowd. But I think he was getting pissed off for doing that.
Yeah.
I think it was a bit, what do we do? But I think they felt, well, hold on a minute, we've got a bit of momentum here. Why? And they basically just went, unfortunately, we can't wait for Paul.
Yeah,
you know? And it was just like, guys, hate to break it to you. As much as you're a solid band and this is a great album,
you had the
reason you're on that main stage.
Yeah. The second album's on Apple Music, but I haven't listened to it. So I imagine it's more solid metal. But what the vocalist like, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it kind of misses the point though, doesn't it?
No, mate, you're right. But it's
one of them, yeah.
It is, yeah.
But then Paul put out a thing following it up, basically going, yeah, nice one, wankers. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, it got a bit airy. But, yeah, there you go. But again, such a shame because this song alone, it just shows.
Oh, it shows that it's there, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
And that's the story of Paul's career, though, isn't it? It's just missed opportunities or luck running out or whatever, or bad.
Again, if someone had gave me this album and but budget wasn't an issue, sorry, I'd have gone, right, make a video for this. We're going to share it everywhere. I'm going to try and get it on Planet Rock. It might be just slightly too heavy for Planet Rock. You never quite know with them. You think, that's a bit heavy. Next thing you know, Rammstein's playing, and you think, hold on, you can do it when you want to.
Yeah.
But mind you, I think Rammstein have become too big to not play at this moment. Like they've got to the point where it's on their terms now.
They're up there in terms of bands, like size-wise. They're up there with Metallica and Maiden as being, it's them three, I think.
Yeah.
Metal. You know, obviously, musical style completely fucking different. And
when it comes to headlining festivals, though, they're the three,
fucking hell! You know, all three of those bands put on a show in a different way. They've all got their own production values and all the rest of it, and they're inspiring other bands. I mean, you know, I mentioned the other day, like Parkway Drive. If it weren't for Metallica and Rammstein thinking outside the box in terms of production, Parkway Drive are still playing metalcore.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we want to go to that level.
We want to go up one, yeah.
Yeah, and we've got to fucking buck our ideas up. So they had fucking Fire and spinning drum risers and all that shit, and crazy.
Yeah. I guess Slipknot is up there as well.
Oh, cool. Slipknot, yeah, fuck.
But yeah, they're definitely the big three, aren't they?
Well, Slipknot are more sporadic, aren't they? They're obviously, I know it ain't so much now, but obviously when Corey used to dip off into Stone Sour,
they would take different. Yeah, they've all got side projects in there, haven't they?
But no, those four definitely.
Yeah, but again, so coming back, Dead Eyes, I think is a fantastic single.
Yes.
Material. Again, I would have made a video for it. That I would have pushed the album with that song, and again, I would have gone right. Tour. Who's touring out of these bands? You know, except Doro, Primal Fear. Which one's touring Europe right now? Right, bang.
Stick them on now.
Yeah. Who's touring America? A Priest touring America? Fucking hell, I think they could have got away with opening up for Overkill or someone like that. Oh, there you go. I think they could have got away with that. Yeah. And fucking.
Yeah, you can see.
It's so annoying.
You can see the path they should have taken, and it's like. And this is only, but again, would Paul's health, you know, wouldn't have worked?
Yeah,
plus
that's
he's even allowed back into America.
He did a tour, didn't he? He did do a tour marking it when the thing ran out. He was like,
being the notorious fucking leader of the Bloods and the Crips.
Mind you, yeah, it's still, they can still be fussy, can't they?
Yeah.
I know. A couple of bands have had trouble entering UK, ain't they? There was I can't remember what it was recently. It was something to do with Visa as well, and they even went, look, in 2 weeks we're going to be gone. We're a touring band. It was like, no.
Yeah.
This one paper don't work.
You ain't coming
out. Yeah. I forgot. It was quite funny because they tried blaming it on Trump as well. It was just like
been the fucking same for fucking years.
Yeah, it was like slag the guy off all you like, but where was he in that?
Yeah, I mean, he was only there for 4 years.
Yeah, but okay. Whether or not he would have been able to enter like a full tour like that, I don't know. But and like I say, his knee.
Yeah,
his fucking knee.
Yeah, made of biscuits, isn't it? So
it's made of biscuit.
It is, isn't it? It just crumbles.
That's the best way to put it. Yeah, I've known people with that. You know, in the engineering trade, and that when someone's knee does go, it does really affect them. You think it's just like a simple procedure, but
no, it's a major fucking.
Yeah,
the missus has got a dodgy knee, and every so often it'll be like fucking hell, you know.
Yeah. The way it's done as well, isn't it? Because they open you up, and on the joint, he said like the amount of crap that grows on it because it's trying to support it, and it said that you just scrape it off. It's like, oh, this sounds horrible.
Yeah, grim.
Anyway, right, moving on to the title track.
The title track of the band.
Title track of the band.
I like the got like a Middle Eastern style riff.
Yeah,
an Arabian-esque type, you know, thing going on, and someone's definitely been listening to Alice in Chains for their verses.
Yes. I was going to say another riff brings comes. What is that? Who's that?
I spent enough time trying to get the other one.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't matter. But
this is a sort of a mission statement, isn't it, from the band? I mean, however puerile it is lyric-wise, you know, we're not living up to your rules. I can't remember exactly what they are, but it's like
the usual.
It's like a teenage lyric, isn't it? You know, but
We stand alone.
Yeah,
and all that.
It's the first real meh song for me. Some great bits of music in there, but it doesn't really. If this weren't on here, it wouldn't be missed.
It's got a very Alice in Chains feel to it in the verses, isn't it?
It's big time.
It's even harmonised slightly as well.
Yeah, it is, and they don't really need to do it because the previous 6 songs they've been doing their thing fine.
Yeah,
you don't blatantly go and try and rip off the only band that has ever sounded like that.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's another one though where the verse is a bit, but I do think the chorus and the sort of build up to the chorus does save it. Once we get there, we're in good territory. I quite like that riff as well. Or it's not a riff. When the let's bring the lyrics up so I can tell you what I'm on about. So it's sort of the beginning of the chorus where it sort of climbs, and then we go into that we stand alone. So it's like never believed in your way of life. That what the guy does on the guitar underneath that little bit, it's really cool. It's like a little climbing sort of riff to it.
Yeah.
But then there's like a little melodic. I like that little section. It's quite. It's like the song switches quickly and then switches back. But I like that little touch. And cool little chorus as well. It doesn't outstay its welcome, does it? It's a little sort of mission statement.
Yeah, it's like I say, if you scrubbed it from the thing and the album was 11 tracks long, you wouldn't be missing anything.
No. I don't know where this would, because normally when you got like a title track for your band, you generally either open or close with it.
Yeah, as we know.
Iron Maiden being a prime example, but some bands open with their one, and I think you can kind of do both. But you wouldn't do that with this track, would you?
No, because it has
a set with it.
No, you wouldn't even play it live.
And you certainly wouldn't open with it. Yeah, it'd be. Does it even need to be done live? But surely, if you're going to have a title track, you've got to throw it in there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Mind you, look at Black Sabbath. But then again, they opened their album with it.
Yeah.
At the time, but normally it's sort of midway in the set, isn't it? But so it doesn't have to be a rule. But I think you all know what I'm getting at. So when murder comes to town.
Right, we finally cracked this one just before we started recording because I've been listening to this and the intro was a blatant rip-off of something else and I could not fucking get what I could narrow it down to a band, but then Joe was like, it's this. And it's The Haunting by Testament.
Yeah.
And it is pretty much note for note and drum part for drum part, to be fair. Whether it was intentional, because as we've said before, there's only so many fucking notes and riffs you can write on a guitar. But it is pretty much on the nose.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a fresh riff that goes you know, it's just
it's a good melody and a good run. So they put it for, this is great, and then fuck, someone did it. But I don't think it's a rip off. Probably the wrong word. It just sounds like it, and obviously hopefully not intentional anyway. But why Paul had to count in German, I don't know.
He does that in his live shows as well. I think where he's from country to country, I think he switches.
Yeah.
Because there's one he's on
Portuguese one when he's done.
He's live in Poland and he's going on dos tres. I've recently read in Blabbermouth though, Dino from Fear Factory.
Oh well, fucking when Burton fucked up on the Maiden tour.
I think they went on tour with Megadeth and then like the next day switched to touring with Maiden.
Yeah, and Steve Harris was rushing him from the side stage. Yeah.
Was it Megadeth? I can't remember now.
Yeah, they said they were on tour with Megadeth, and we finished that and went to Maiden tour, and Dino was like, "Are you ready for Megadeth?"
Ready for Megadeth?
And he turned around and Steve Harris was fucking laughing at him. Steve and Yannick, he said, they were just pissing themselves laughing because he fucked it up. The thing is, you say that to a Maiden crowd, like he didn't get bottled.
Yeah.
Because Maiden's
there's loads of ones like that as well. I mean, I think the list goes on and on, when they say the wrong city.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that. I think a amount of times Ozzy Osbourne's done that. Yeah.
Fucking hell, yeah. But that man's in a perpetual fog anyway, isn't he? I mean,
yeah. Right, so Murder Comes to Town. I think we're back to where we were with was it Horseman? Or how many times this again?
Yeah,
this is heavy metal. The classic recipe done to the letter.
Yeah, it's metal by numbers, isn't it? You know, it's but it's not shit. I don't get me wrong. Don't mean that as an insult, but it's just them. This band know what they're doing, and they've got a formula. They like doing it. They've deviated off here and there, but they're like, you know, if they did more than 2 albums, it'd be like, I imagine they turn into your comfort blanket. It'd be like Maiden or Hatebreed or AC/DC. You know exactly what you're getting from this band. And I think this would have been the case with these guys. They've got a formula. They're good at it. They'll switch it up every so often, but they'll...
As long as they improved on it as well, just got better, I think we would have been in good... You know, would have been in a good place. Again, Primal Fear is the prime example. They...
started out like Priest, they're a painkiller. And then went into full-on power metal at times. And
but I think there'd even be people that would go, but as much as they're a Priest rip-off, we like their last couple of Priest albums.
Oh, no, that's not a rip-off. They started, I think that was Painkiller that wanted them to be in a band. They were like, fucking hell, I want to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
So the first couple of albums, it was them wearing their influences on their sleeves. But then when they found their feet, they were like, oh, fucking hell, hang on.
And not only that,
let's go this way or this way.
With your Priest, we're getting an album every 5 years. This band, we're getting an album every other year.
Every 2 years, yeah.
And not only that, like, you don't know how long Priest have got left in them. Exactly. This band are going to carry on, you know.
They're that next generation down, aren't they? So
might just say that, fucking hell, Primal Fear aren't exactly spring chickens anymore. But
no, but they're still young enough to be able to...
Yeah, considering the Stones are still touring in their 70s. And was it Charlie Watts is sitting out this one? He's recently just had an operation, but he's 80. Like, fucking hell. Like, he was going to do it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, fuck that.
I did see an interview with him once, funnily enough. They said, like, how long do you think you got? And he went, oh, well, we did a tour, and I did say this is my last one. And I said to everyone, like, at the end of this, I'm going to retire. Don't make an announcement or anything. Like, this will be my last one. And when I went home, and about 2 weeks went in, my wife just went, have you got any gigs coming up? You're in the way, sort of. And they went, look, we know you're retired, but we have been offered a 12-day run or something. Like, we're looking at that. Did you want to do it before we go and ask someone else? Do you? He went, I'll go on and I'll do it. He went, anyway, I said I was going to retire, and since then I've done 13 world tours. So he went, I think I'll just fall over one day and that'll be it.
Well, that'll be him. He'll do a Nick Menza. He'll just die behind the kit.
Yeah.
And if you're a musician, what better place to go?
He was quite funny. Yeah, because they said, like, what's it like playing in front of these, 300,000 people and all this? He went, I can't see that far. He went, I can normally only see the first row or so, if that. He goes, that's Mick's job. I'll let him deal with that.
I'm going to say, I've heard that before. It's like, you just you're in the zone, you're playing your gig, you've got the fucking lights beaming down, you can't see shit.
Yeah, he goes, I don't know. He went, I normally, about half hour before we go on, I'll get me list of songs. I go, all right, okay. And then...
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
That's it.
I love that though. Yeah.
Sorry,
no gone off on one. But what are we talking about? Murder Comes to Town.
Yeah. That being a formula. I mean, it's
it's
one song.
Quite formulaic, but it's a formula that works.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's the first song on the album where Paul's high pitched vocal has actually worked.
Yeah. Great little chorus as well. The Life's So Still, with the backing vocals, and then the Fear in the darkness is all I killed. Great little chorus. Again, I like that. The backing vocals. I mean, I think they took that off of Accept. Yeah. But it's a good little toll. It's a good little thing.
Yeah. I mean, everyone loves a good backing vocal, don't they?
And it also, encourages crowd participation at the right time. I think a live show has definitely been taken into account whilst writing these songs.
Yeah. Big time.
And we've got some great riffs on here as well. Nice melodies that carry it all. And again, a blistering little solo section on this.
Yeah, the solos are fucking savage on this. They really are.
So then we've got a nice
another mid-pace bang.
Like sort of a mid-pace. This has got like a. I'm trying to think of what band this reminds me of. It's got that kind of groove. What's the word? It's just like, woo. You know, it's got that.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's it could be anyone. It's like I say, it's they're wearing their influences on their sleeve. But no, it's a good riff to start with, and but for me now we're getting into I'm getting, for lack of a better word, metal fatigue. With formula bands, like I can't really make it towards the end of an AC/DC album. You know, you get so far and you're like, your brain needs to change up. It's the thing about Maiden, you know what you're getting, but they'll always throw something in or something a bit to keep you, snap you out of it, especially when you're doing an 80 or 90 minute. But now I'm like, yeah, these are good, but they're just sort of passing me by.
Yeah, I really, the thing with AC/DC as well, when it's on point, it's fucking awesome. But if it ain't, it ain't, and it's either there or it's not.
Exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
I really liked. They've done a new album, haven't they?
The new album is fucking actually pretty good.
No, the one before it, I can't remember. It's Rock.
Black Ice, wasn't it, or is it? No, fucking hell, that was one before that, wasn't it?
I want to say Rock Until You Drop, but it weren't.
No.
Rock Non-Stop. What the
fuck? It could be anything, couldn't it?
Rock or Bust. That was it.
Rock or Bust, yeah.
That was an awesome album. That was like, fucking hell, this is great. But and what was this new one called? Hold on.
See, I couldn't actually get into that, really.
Power Up, yeah.
Yeah, Power Up I fucking really liked.
No, for me, Power Up kind of just, it was all right while it was on, but when it finished, it was like, all right. What was that then? Quite like, a couple of good songs on it. In the Mist of Time, I thought was a great song. Well, that was really cool. One about witches on there as well.
Witch's Trip, I think it was actually one. That's the proper bluesy one, isn't it? Where he's almost speaking the vocal.
Yeah, but no, I thought Rock or Bust was, and because it was only half with Power Up as well, it was quite a short album relatively. Yeah. So it was like, well, it's only half hour, so just stick it on. But yeah, coming back to Obsidian Black, yeah, we're kind of repeating ourselves now, aren't we? We're
yeah, it's nothing. It's not shit either, is it? But it
does what it says on the tin, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It's good to listen to, but it's kind of hard to describe now where we're not repeating ourselves.
Yeah, it's just a good collection of riffs, great solo, Paul in his own, and you know that's about the long and short of it, isn't it? It's
yeah.
They do stick a surprise at the end of the album, though, but we'll get there. I don't want to think we're just into a rinse and repeat territory to see the album out. We're not.
Angel of Death.
You've been kissed by the wings of the Angel of Death. It's like short on the title, boys. Again, I think we're in similar territory.
Riff, though.
Yeah, no, I like the riff. A good chorus, but
nice bit of shredding in that.
Yeah,
you know.
But we are.
It's all good, and again, nice chorus, nice little climbing riff in between, split things up. Blistering solo section. Paul has a go on the old high vocals again. I think he pulls it off on this one because they are quite short, like screams. So he gets there and then comes out, sort of thing. So it works. Yeah. Again, we're into sort of filler territory now, but I do think this song works. And
they all work. It's just you're never going to go to them, are you?
Yeah, we're getting.
But
it's hard to sort of
track 11. Apache Falls, for me, that's a completely different story. This is a fucking great song.
Well, again,
and
if you're going to make a classic album, you've got to have a song about Holtzman.
Yeah, and you've got to have a song about Native Americans, you know. Yeah. And this is obviously, I think this is a good one. You get obviously the Native American chanting to start it off. A pretty cool drum intro, to be fair to the guy, where he brings it in, and then a good riff kicks in to get into the song. I think it's the best song on the album, aside from Dead Eyes, and it's a nice surprise buried at the arse end of an album that was threatening to peter out.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, hang about. There's one last adrenaline, jolt for you at the end, and it's one of Paul's best performances in the last 20 years, I think, vocally. Best performance since Murder One on this song in particular. I think this song works. All of it together works really well, and it's a highlight of the album for me.
Yeah,
and I think where it's placed is a bit of a shitter because you might get people who have gone from Obsidian Black and You've Been Kissed by the Wings of the Angel of Death, and they might be like, oh, you know what?
Getting a bit fatigued, yeah.
I'm done. I'll fuck it. I'll listen to it later and never get round to it. And they're missing an absolute gem for me. And it's got a nice piano outro as well, sort of put through a phaser almost. It's
which makes you think, oh well, I like it when they do that on it, like especially on a debut album, because little things like that at the end, it just gives you a hint. There's more
of what might be coming later.
Yeah, there's more to come, sort of thing.
Yeah, yes, yeah, no, it does. It's a very, very good song indeed, and it's a good way to end. I know it doesn't end the album, but as far as original song goes, this ends the album well. And like you say, it gives that hint of, oh, fucking, I might hang around for the next album, because if they're doing stuff like this.
It's nice and fast at the verses as well.
Yeah.
And then you got that, blood is all around me. And then when it comes to the chorus, it's nice and open.
It is, yeah.
So it's all mainly just chords, and it's Paul's vocals that carry it.
Yeah, and, vocal, like I say,
now we're massacred, and it's just a big sort of open.
It's a big epic song. It's about 6 odd minutes, isn't it? And it doesn't feel that at all. It goes quite nicely, and shows definitely they are capable of doing stuff to throw you out the comfort zone rather than just doing the metal numbers.
And it goes quite jammy, and the band sort of they show off how tight they can be as well.
I know they're obviously they're
goes
tight
quite
unit.
riffy. They throw a few solos in, and then they bring it right back round for one final chorus, and then boom, done, wrapped up. This is officially the last track, but then if you get the CD, you get a bonus song, which is track a cover 12. Of Soldier of Fortune by Deep Purple, and
I mean that's a good song anyway. That and you don't often hear tracks from the David Coverdale era. It's normally he tends to, for me anyway, when I've seen compilations, it's always earlier stuff. So to hear something from the David Coverdale era was quite nice.
How many albums did David Coverdale do at Deep Purple? Do you know?
I don't know. That's what I mean. You don't know. You can fucking.
He is the guy, isn't he? That he's the guy that replaced the classic singer in a band, in a classic band, and then
he's the Blaze Bailey of Deep Purple, isn't he?
Yeah, but got elbowed out to get the original guy back.
Wait, the Blaze Bailey of Deep Purple.
But
made some brilliant albums.
Tim Owens and all that. But it was like the best thing that could have happened to him, because then he formed Whitesnake.
And then just went off.
Never in them.
Yeah. But he's a forgotten vocalist as well, David Coverdale. He's one of ours. He's a fucking English boy. Not that you'd know from listening to Here I Go Again and all that, which is what obviously he's biggest for. But he is a fucking great vocalist, and he quite often gets overlooked.
Songwriter as well, really.
Yeah. But no, I love the guy.
I think that 80s era of they kind of got trapped in the 80s. They've got that MTV.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, and obviously the classic album they wrote, 1987, which obviously sold fucking hundreds of squillions of copies.
Yeah.
And put them up there with Hysteria and Slippery When Wet.
Yeah, but those early.
The early stuff was quite bluesy, wasn't it? It was pretty cool. But no, I like Deep. Like you know my thoughts on Deep Purple. They were always the better band out of them and Zeppelin, and they were forever in Zeppelin's shadow for some reason. And I cannot understand why. They wrote better songs. They had better musicians.
Yeah, I thought they were more in competition with Sabbath myself. But
I'd say
Sabbath
were metal, whereas Purple were classic rock, and for me it was always Zeppelin, and it's like fuck Zeppelin.
Yeah, but it's not that. Some people still insist that Zeppelin are metal, and I think there's the argument as well. Who made the first album? Was it Sabbath? And they go, or was it Deep Purple in rock? And I'm like, no, it was Sabbath, definitely.
Yeah, Sabbath, 1970, done.
Nothing wrong with it. Purple rock. No, it wasn't a metal album.
No, it was a classic rock album.
Oh, but the sounds that they used and the tone, it's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Look, stop it. Yeah, you're wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I mean,
it started there. After that, there was no coming back.
Yeah, and it's carrying on. Yeah.
Unwittingly invented by Sabbath, perfected by Priest. That's that.
And taken to the next level by the reason we're doing this cast.
Exactly. Yeah. And then again by Metallica. Afterwards.
That's
it's all tied up for you, folks.
The big four.
We've done the homework.
It's the big four. Now, yeah, the big four of thrash. These are the big four of metal. Done.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Well, no doubt someone will disagree.
Yeah, but please disagree. Let's have a row. Let's have, or not a row. Let's have a debate on the comments.
Yep. And it seems like you're all getting into that now. So
yeah, that's it. Please, yeah, carry on.
Let us know what you thought of this album. What do you think of our big four of metal, which we just come up with? That's what the tangents are for. Yeah. Were Purple better than Zeppelin, or other way round, or in Sabbath Purple, Zeppelin, them three? You can have a battle over that as well. Let's get into the conclusion of this album.
Yeah, for me, it's
pretty obvious.
We both liked it. I mean, I've liked it more than I thought I would, because, like I say, I knew it was out. I mean, you even sent it to me, I think, a long time ago, and I deleted it because it was like, no, I'm not going anywhere near that. And I admit I was wrong, because this is a very good 7 out of 10 for me. This is a nice surprise from where Di'Anno has been, and just a bit frustrating that it's another, but it does fall into the same Di'Anno trait as what could have been.
Yeah, a good 7 for me. I think it may even verge into an 8 at times. But yeah, again, let's not get carried away. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a good statement of intent and a good.
Yes.
It's a good debut album. It's a solid ground.
It's never sort of
just
Iron
enough
Maiden,
songs here to make a good set out of. Again, I would have gone support slot, 45 minutes. With the right bands opening up to get Paul back onto the spectrum, really, onto the Paul's back in town.
Yeah,
this is the original Maiden singer.
Yeah,
he's had a bit of a rocky thing, but he's back on form with a great band. And then the second album, I would have gone, right, now we need to improve on what we've got.
Yeah. And
again, I would have toured the fuck out of it. I would have gone, right, chuck a few Murder One songs in there, throw a Battle One zone in as well, and pepper Maiden songs. Don't rely on Maiden songs. And you've got enough songs on this album to not do that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And again, we got a classic mix. All the names. There's Priest riffs. There's Thrasher parts. There's Megadeth riffs. You're thinking of Accept one song. You're thinking of Testament, the next song. You're thinking of Alice in Chains at one point. It's nice and varied, and it's all there for things to build. The seeds are planted on this album.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
And again, it was refreshing to get what you knew Paul always had in him, and with the last couple of albums we've reviewed by him, it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. So it's nice to.
And you think
get an album where it's like, here we go.
This could actually be his very last recorded album.
Yeah, which is a shame. But then, it's a shame with what could have been. But then again, if this is the last one, what a way to go out.
Yeah, he's gone out. He's sort of gone full circle, because he started obviously with the debut Maiden album, which we all know is a fucking stone cold classic. He's had a few fucking hits and misses, but if he is going to go out on your best album for nearly a quarter of a century.
Yeah.
Hopefully he has got one more in him.
Yeah.
Because we love him. And hopefully he doesn't just disappear into the mist, fade away, wanting to burn out. Or better to burn out than to fade away.
Yeah.
But no, a good album, and fair play to him. He's come good.
Yeah. Right, folks. Well, that's the end of this one. You've made it. Congratulations. If you have liked the video, and if this is your first episode, welcome aboard. Feel free to go back through the list and make your way through the Maiden catalogue. You can do it like we're doing it, all in order, or you can do it in sections. You can do Maiden's stuff and then Bruce's, just do the Bruce solo albums, or you don't have to do it in our order, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can help support the channel, if you want to help in any way, it's nice and easy. You just need to click that little like button. Even if you disliked it, click that one as well. It doesn't matter. As long as it's a reaction. That's all YouTube cares about. Give us a share, or even just give us a mention. If next time you're debating Maiden with your mates, go, here, have you checked out Maidencast? Nice and easy to remember.
Yeah.
Throw it out there for us. And we'll be back in a couple of days.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do, we have got coming up.
We're going to go for it, aren't we? We
have got the trilogy. Blaze Bayley, he did after the King of Metal, he did a pretty long tour with that, actually. Then he released a best of 2 CD compilation. I did cover this a few videos ago. Yeah, best of with a few odds and sods chucked in, 2 new songs as well. He toured that, did a live album off the back of it. He then released an acoustic EP and then followed that with an album a few years later. So he was doing tours with a full band. Then he would do a small tour of acoustic shows, and he was going back and forth and back and forth. And then ready for a new album. He's got a whole new lineup again. The guy Thomas, who does the acoustic stuff, he does do the odd track on these albums, actually. So
cool.
In the writing credits, he sort of pops up for one. When the sort of album breaks and we've got an acoustic song, that's what it's with. But, yes, he says, I'm going to do a concept album, and it's going to be a trilogy. And I thought, oh, for fuck's sake. But don't worry, because it's actually pretty good. And we're not going to do an album, but we're going to do a big-ass epic show where we're going to cover the entire Infinite Entanglement trilogy. So that's something to look forward to. We'll be back. It'll be within the week, put it that way. So thanks for watching, everyone. And we will see you all soon. Take care of yourselves. See you then.